is it in this one small life that makes it all worthwhile? It's the small things, the big things, the humor, the profundity that I notice. Go root around, mess around, figure it out. It's poking around.
Okay, hi everyone, we're back. It took us longer than we said.
Yeah.
But we have a lot to say. I was on the train over here. I was like, I have about 4 months worth of like podcasting things to share.
I know. We've been gone.
We've been gone as fuck.
We're back though. We're going to be back in your ears better than ever.
Yeah. Should we tell them? I think we can probably tell them.
I think we can tell them.
Okay, we got a producer.
Woo!
And so the next couple of episodes we already had scheduled in our old studio at P&T Knitwear, which is a bookstore on the Lower East Side that has a free podcasting studio for anyone who lives in New York City. You can book up to 3 appointments per month for free. It's an amazing resource. We love this bookstore.
Yeah, and maybe you guys will start podcasts too if you don't already have them.
Hey, you guys should start a podcast. It's pretty fun.
I bet some listeners already have some we don't even know about.
Oh, you guys, send us your podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been in talks with and just signed with Gotham Production Studios, which has a bunch of studios in Midtown and is run by a couple who like are down with our poems.
Yeah.
And reached out to us to see if we maybe wanted to have a producer, which we were like, yeah, that would be really helpful, actually.
And we're going to be recording in their sexy studios.
Yeah.
All love to P&T Knitwear. It's sexy here too, but P&T Knitwear is probably more like cute, quirky girl in her 20s. And I would say Gotham Studios is more like a sensual woman in her 30s.
So it's actually, that's kind of why we're doing like split, like we have to do a little bit more at P&T because Hannah and I have crossed an uncrossable threshold in our relationship where she is actually in a different decade of her life than I am right now.
Zoe's still in her 20s.
I'm still in my 20s.
She's just a little, her necklace just broke off.
That was like perfect thing to happen. Like, I'm still in my 20s. I'm like, yes, this cost $15.
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking that hard. It's broken.
I feel like this could be a sign. Like, what is this? It's a tarot card.
The tarot card is the Fool. I think that means something.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaving this behind. This is your 20s as fuck.
Yeah.
You are the Fool. The Fool is the first card in the tarot deck, and it's basically just like an absolute dum-dum. He's wandering naively out into the world. He knows nothing. Or she.
Or they. Wandering into the world knowing nothing. But then when you get into your 30s, suddenly you have all this wisdom washed over you.
This feels honestly like I'm kind of like spooked out and delighted.
I know, that's so funny.
I also never wear this. I made like a really different choice today.
Keep this and like tuck it away in a
I'm going to put this like on an altar.
Yeah.
I'll put this on my tarot altar.
Yeah.
This is done. Okay. Well, let's like start maybe.
Yeah, let's start. Anything else?
Oh my God. I mean, I have about so many 100,000 things to say. I think we'll maybe like explore around as we get into it. What did I want to share? I had like a burning, I just finished an amazing book.
Oh, hell yeah. I saw that on your Instagram story.
It's called Get the Picture. It's about the fine art world in New York City, which I needed to read basically for my book research. And And it comes to the most like profound conclusion about art, which maybe I'll just share here now.
Yeah.
And highly recommend reading this book. It's funny and it's so relatable.
I love
and
to laugh while reading a book. Oh my God, it's so fun.
It's like about a very serious topic and like gets into like so much profundity, but she writes it in a way that's so funny. And it's just like top tier journalism. Cannot recommend more highly. She gets to this conclusion about the, because it's like she goes in being like, so I like go into an art gallery and I'm kind of like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a feeling that most people can relate to. And by doing all these like insane, she like infiltrates into the art world in like all these different roles to try to be like, can I figure out what this is? Or is it just like a bunch of bullshit and kind of like an elitist club? And it is an elitist club, but it's not all bullshit. And the conclusion that she kind of gets to of like...
isn't that true about so many different art worlds?
Yes. But she comes to this really interesting conclusion about like the function of art in society, which is, I think a lot of like kind of average people probably feel like, oh, I look at a piece of art and I don't get it. Like, I don't get what... Like, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I don't have a, like, master's degree, so I guess I just, like, don't get it.
Yeah.
But she talks about how, and this relates back to things that we've said on the podcast before, about neuroscience, how your brain can only process, like, 40 to 60 bits per second of information, but there's, like, a million bits per second of information that could be processed.
This as fuck.
Yeah, which is, like, I'm, like, addicted to this idea. But... So based off of that, it's like your brain actually makes a million assumptions every second and like fills in data because it's like, oh, it recognizes patterns. And it's like, so we don't actually see like the truth of anything. We see mostly like what our brain has assumed.
It's literally like being like, she's mad at me because I saw her eyebrow raise in this way. And when I've just gathered research that often that concludes that I said something that made her uncomfortable. And so she's mad at me. But it's like her eyebrow raised.
It's like you got all that from not that? Even in control of her. Or maybe she is mad at you. She doesn't even know, but her eyebrow, it's like whatever. But so we're constantly like filling in all of these different things. And the function of art is to be something that interrupts and removes your filter of expectation. So like we go around being like, oh, my brain is like filling in all these things and I'm just kind of like almost sleepwalking then because I'm like, this is happening automatically. Like I don't even know that my brain is doing it. And then you look at a piece of art and it's not necessarily something that you're supposed to get, but it's supposed to like wake you back up by being something that is out of the expected. Yeah. So like she gives the example of like, oh, if you see a plate of sushi, your brain is filling it, like it's seen sushi before, so it knows what's up.
Your brain's going like this, yummy, can't wait to eat.
And then she talks about this painting of sushi that an artist that she was working with did, where it was like pieces of sushi, but in the middle of all of them were eyeballs.
Right, oh my God.
And so it's like, and so your brain starts to do the filling in, but then it's like, whoa, actually, and it's kind of like jarring and it's kind of like uncomfortable because it's not what you expect, but the point isn't to like it's not necessarily like, oh, there's like a thesis statement, sometimes there is, but about like why the sushi is an eyeball, but it's just supposed to like jolt your brain back into like the actual reality that it exists in, where it's not just like filling in gaps automatically.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. That's a lot of like Patrick's stuff. Like he'll have like a frog on like a heroin spoon.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, oh, right. Yeah. Okay. And I feel like that I was like, I felt like I was like finally kind of like understand.
Yeah. I also think that it's like people who consider themselves like well-educated, like intellectuals, quote unquote, who like walk through the world like trying to assign meaning to everything. It can be kind of like narrow those boundaries where you're just like, but what does it mean? What does this art mean? What's the like concept behind it? Where it's like, actually there's like this whole like expansive landscape that can just be disrupted.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. And
it's kind of like Dada.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can look at anything. Like she has this moment toward the end of the book where she like leaves the Guggenheim and she like walks into Central Park and she's like, I feel like everything that I'm seeing is a piece of art. Like she's looking at the hot dog truck, like one of the that has all of those pictures of like a billion different kinds of hot dogs on it, and she's like, yes.
Those are so funny because I'm like, I know for a fact y'all don't have relish back there.
No, exactly. It's like the
I've asked.
hot dog they give you does not look like those pictures.
No.
But and then it reminded me of like what we think and talk about so much of like how if you're like tapped in enough to like a poetry stream, like everything becomes a poem. You look at everything around you and you're like, oh my God, I actually can't even like live my life normally because I'm so overwhelmed by how everything is like so poetic. And I really liked that those things held hands, of course, because they're both art forms. And then it also made me feel like, oh, this maybe gives me a greater appreciation for types of poetry that I like struggle more with, where you read it and you're like, this is really dense and this is really hard to understand and I do not get it and I am scared.
Yeah.
It made me be like, oh, I kind of want to go revisit pieces like that with this lens of like, it's not necessarily here to be gotten. It's here to kind of like scramble my brain up.
Sometimes like when something's opaque, your inclination is to be like, okay, like let me make this clear. Like let me get in there and like spread out the color so I can like see through it and understand it. Sometimes it's like, actually the point is that it's dense and you can't see through it.
Yeah.
The point is that it's opaque. You cannot see through it.
Like some things cannot be seen through.
Yeah.
And we need to learn that lesson. Stat. Okay, welcome to Poking Around the Podcast. That's our up top theory hour.
Theory hour.
We are a comedy poetry podcast now in our second season. And our whole thesis statement is that we joke around about poems and poem around about jokes.
We're professional poets and amateur comedians. So we write poems on the spot for people as our full-time professions at events and at Central Park if you want to come visit us.
And on the internet.
And also we are friends.
And also we're just funny girls.
Yes. Yeah.
We think we're funny girls.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a comedic thing in...
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, wait, I need to like make my slides for this. April 27th, I think it's 7 or 7:30 p.m. at Caveat in the East Village. I'm doing a little thing with a bunch of real comedians. I'm the not real comedian who's on this lineup. But it's called Bitch with Mitch. It's my friend Mitchell's new show where people have slideshows and they like bitch about something that bothers them for 5 minutes. I'm really excited.
I know what you're
going
to do, but I'm not going to give it away.
No,
I almost just did.
I'll tell you after. Maybe that will be my funny idea at some point.
Yeah.
Because I'll have all my
You'll be
material
all
ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, oh wait, that's something I also need to do. I'm like trying to get my book to my agent within the next 3 weeks. So I'm kind of like
in total focus mode.
Strung out. But I'm fine, actually. I'm having fun.
Great. That's how it should be.
I'm having fun and I'm feeling really like perfectly detached in a way of just being like, I do my best.
Perfect.
And then
That's not easy.
No, it's not. Especially for
me.
Zoe. I do not have a history of being chill about basically anything. So this is a huge win for me.
She doesn't have a history about you're chill about some things. You don't have a history about being chill about like projects. But like I would say in like the larger scope of the world,
I'm pretty chill.
You can be really pretty chill, you know.
I can be pretty chill.
Like go with the flow.
Yeah.
Hey Zoe, let's go to the mall. Okay, let's go. That kind of thing.
Wait, this is exactly, I used to feel, okay, so I'm a Taurus, and the main thing about being Taurus, it's always like, oh, you're really stubborn. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm stubborn at all. Like, if someone asks me to go to the mall, like, I will just go. Like, I don't care, you know? Like, I don't care where we go to eat. Like, I am down.
That's so true.
But
you're stubborn in a totally different way.
Yeah. How would you describe my stubbornness?
Well, because you're not stubborn in the way where it's like you have an opinion and you will not let other opinions in. You're so open.
I'm actually sometimes too open.
I know. I will like say something with complete like gusto in my step and she's like, got it. And then it's like completely wrong.
I'm like, I'm changing my belief system around that.
Yeah. But you're stubborn in that like, if there's a problem to solve, you will not stop until you've solved it.
Yeah.
If a company owes you $20, you will be writing a letter every day until you get it. Like, so it's in that way.
I'm getting better about that kind of thing too. In that I just got a parking ticket that I think was really unfair, and I have the urge to fight it. And then I think to myself, let's just let it go. Because stubbornness can be a really good quality if it's directed towards things that are actually additive towards your life and you care about. Yeah. Then it's, I think, really good quality. Yeah. But then you can accidentally redirect it towards something that's just like legit a waste of energy. Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to save my energy.
Yeah, you have to save it.
Yeah.
In a world like this, come on. Okay, we have to start. Okay, so this is a 3-segment podcast. It goes this top part, that's not included in the 3. Then it goes...
That's 0.5.
That's 0.5. Segment 1 is poem time. Segment 2 is joke time. Segment 3 is poem time again, where we write poems based on everything we talked about.
Oh, and with having a new producer in the mix, we are going to hopefully start having like a semi-regular live show. Yeah. And merch. And... a subscriber something extra special, juicy something for you all who, if you already listen to the podcast, thank you. You are our heroes.
You're already doing so much for
and
us.
We're really, season 2, we're like leveling up, but you guys are the originals. We love you.
We love you. And by the way, we're going to have more guests too. That's what I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do poem time. Okay.
Okay. So I have a poem. It's by Regina Avendaño. I first read it on Only Poems.
Oh, we love them.
We love them. They have great poems. It's called Baby. Yesterday I wanted to tabletop dance for you with my perfect hair, no cavities. I've begun asking my neighbors to name 5 things that make me better than the other people we both know. This is because I can't explain drowning, and when I deliver 5 kids from Juarez to your feet, they're all dead. While this is mostly a metaphor, 5 mothers are always standing by my bed, asking me to give my place up. I'm considering this as I breastfeed my reflection, hand out free shots to boys with dirty blonde mullets, while the entire continent celebrates my poise, my perfect hair, this je ne sais quoi, and altogether they wonder how my English has gotten so good. I tell them my first word was water, or baby. But either way, I said it just like that, in another language. If you keep taking a right every time you're about to get home, eventually you understand direction, a system of incompleteness. I take my head out with my teeth to scream into my country. It's the perfect Sunday. California has burnt itself down, and the peace-loving Bushwick suburbia is building golf courses over my brothers. It's a dozen a hand, history with its own cancer. We are rollerblading across the thighs of America, and I want to win. Push my luck at the border. Polish shoes with a toothache. A licensed ontology. Spinning over the Gulf, where the money goes, where the ocean drinks light out of my refrigerator. 4,000 birds falling by official decree.
Oh my God, there's so much.
Isn't that so good?
I
know. It's like for listeners at home, if you don't have a visual of the poem, it's like it looks like prose. Like it's like just one big chunk.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think this is like a close read.
Yeah.
Because there's so much yummy language in this. It makes me excited. I can't wait to write our poems at the end.
The rollerblading across the thighs of America
and I want to win.
That is a banger line.
Banger. Like I actually have tears.
I know. I'm like so
yeah. I have tears. I have tears.
That has disrupted my filter of expectation in the most delightful way.
I found this poem so exciting.
Yes.
Like every new line and also the entire tone of the poem, it's so like womanly and free and fun, but also it's got this like generational sorrow like underpinning the entire thing. I mean, if a poem uses the word rollerblades, I'm like, let's lace up. Like, I'm ready to go.
Let's lace up. And those are not making their way nearly often enough into my poems. Have I ever written rollerblade in a poem?
I don't think I have.
What a tragedy.
I'm so excited to get back to this podcast because I feel like it really helps. We write so many poems for other people, and it's like usually people don't want rollerblades in their poem unless they like asked specifically for a rollerblade poem. This podcast is such a freeing thing to be like, we're just writing for like Hannah and Zoe and anyone else who wants to listen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go line by line.
I want to scoot in.
Okay.
Yesterday, I wanted to tabletop dance for you with my perfect hair, no cavities.
Yes.
Immediately, what a great opening to the poem.
Yeah.
I'm a little girl. I've got 2 feet on the table, and I'm like, I am the most perfect thing in the world.
Yes.
I love no cavities.
No cavities. Do you have any cavities?
No, not current. I mean, I did
Neither.
as like a little girl.
I've never had one.
Okay. Because when you leave the dentist and they're like, no cavities as a child, you're like, sorry, I'm better than all you bitches.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah. Well, okay. I also think like you could read this first line as like little girl, but I think you could also read it as adult because later she says something about passing out free shots in a way that I'm kind of like, it's kind of giving like bottle girl, you know?
I had this feeling that it was like moving within time.
Totally, yeah. It's bad, but yeah, I think so. I think that it could be either.
Right. And obviously the little girl that you are is always still with you.
And even when you're tabletop dancing, especially when you're tabletop dancing, she is there.
Okay, next line. I've begun asking my neighbors to name 5 things that make me better than the other people we both know. Yes!
Yes. I love this line too because it's like there's the understanding also of like I know like me and my neighbors are actually in like a community together.
Yeah.
Like if I think of any of my neighbors, they do not know any of the people that I know.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like we are not like we live in the same building. Like I have their phone numbers. Like if I need them to water my plants, they will do it. But like they do not know my friends.
No, they don't know 5 things about me.
No,
that are awesome.
Exactly. Good or bad.
Yeah. Good or bad.
So I love that also as a line of like it's such a funny line, but it also like sets the scene of like
community and
we all like know the same people. We're all actually like existing in the world as it was like meant to be existed.
Yeah, it gives a ton of information.
Yeah.
Okay. This is because I can't explain drowning, and when I deliver 5 kids from Juarez to your feet, they're all dead.
Let's look up Juarez. I wonder if that's like a river or a like it's I feel like this transitions from like that's such a funny line and is so like light and silly.
It's a city in Mexico.
Okay. It's kind of like, I'm making this joke like small talk in part because like I can't process the fact that like these 5 children drowned.
Yeah.
And like their mothers are it's kind of like, haha, like name 5 things about me that make me better. It's kind of like this way of skirting around like a communal grief.
Well, there's just like 2 things that like often come up, which is like a really strong sense of community and then like a huge like feeling of like especially like within like oppressed communities.
Yeah.
And like this feeling of like tragedy that is like an underpinning all of it, and like both things are juggling at the same time.
Yeah.
And then she says, while this is mostly a metaphor, 5 mothers are always standing by my bed asking me to give my place up. I love that
Wow,
line.
this is mostly it's kind of like, oh, okay, well then maybe 5 children didn't drown in Juarez, but yes they did, and they always have, and they've like and there will always be mothers, and this sense of like that I am somehow like whatever mothers they are, whatever children they are, like I feel them in my bedroom kind of. It's this thing of like, how come I get this and
How
like
come I
they
get to
don't
live? Yeah. There's this just like guilt about it.
Yeah, like there will always be 5 mothers who could probably use your bed more than you know?
Or want their children instead of you. They want you to trade. Like, why do you get to...
Yeah.
I always feel that feeling when someone around our age dies. It's like, oh, the like grief that everyone has to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways. I'm considering this as I breastfeed my reflection. Hand out free shots to boys with dirty blonde mullets, while the entire continent celebrates my poise, my perfect hair, this je ne sais quoi, and all together they wonder how my English has gotten so good. It is like, she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Can we have the mention of the perfect hair?
Yeah.
And everyone is like celebrating about her, like almost like I feel like it's like she was in Mexico or like was talking about Mexico, and now like this bit feels like a transition into like she's in America.
Right.
She's handing or she's in a place where a lot of Americans are or something, and she's handing shots to blonde boys, and everyone's praising her because she's so good at English, and she's so beautiful.
Breastfeed my reflection is crazy.
Yeah, that line goes so
banger.
hard.
Like that, it feels like this perfect way of being like reparenting yourself, like mothering your own self, and like for that to come right after like the mother standing at the side of the bed, like I breastfeed my own reflection. Like there's so much care in that. It's such like a wild image. And then for right after it to be she's passing out shots, and she's tabled, like there's all these also different like contexts that like breasts can be in.
Well, yeah, it's also like a really indulgent image too. Like it's like, yes, like remothering yourself, but it's also this feeling of like when you look in the mirror and you're just like, fuck yeah. And you're like I'm breastfeeding my reflection. You're like sucking on your own tit. Like you're like, yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like it holds both those things.
The whole country is like obsessed with how hot I am.
Yeah.
And I also love in this like everyone wonders how my English got so good. With that, also her including the je ne sais quoi, which is French, which like French has like a completely different connotation often than Spanish in terms of being like, I don't know, like posh in this way. Yeah. I'm not saying I believe that, but my 14-year-old self
French
did.
is like
it's
the
like
language of like the
yes.
colonizer language. Not that Spanish isn't, because we all know what Spain did, but you know, blah blah blah. We know what Spain did.
Basically, language is extremely complicated. But yeah, I just love that extra little kind of like cherry on top as well. Like it's such a beautiful mix of like these 3 ideas and places, and kind of like the way that we assign different levels of like meaning or elitism or like supremacy to different things based off of whiteness.
Yeah.
Damn.
Boys with blonde mullets.
Yeah, boys with blonde mullets. She's in California now.
She's in California. She goes, okay, here comes the title of the poem. Okay. I tell them my first word was water or baby. Poem title. But either way, I said it just like that in another language. If you keep taking a right every time you're about to get home, eventually you understand direction.
Okay, first of all, I love the image of a baby being like baby. Or like the word water, I think is like actually a pretty difficult word.
Yeah. Wawa is usually what the babies go for first.
But babies don't drink water.
I know.
Is also a crazy thing.
When do they start, you know? Like
Later.
When
they're not babies anymore, basically. When I learned that fact, I was like...
Because there must be so much water in the milk.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but like water is like dangerous to babies.
Yeah.
Like they can't drink it. Which is also so funny because it's like, if I don't drink water for one day, I basically like am this close to death.
It is so weird that it's like, it will really hurt babies, but then like you grow into being like, it's actually the number one thing that you need.
It's the only thing you need.
Yeah.
Like, if it comes down to like a survival situation, like
water's the first like
only thing that truly matters
Yeah.
for like life or death. First thing you need, water. Yeah, so I think about that a lot. There's like a metaphor in there.
Definitely.
So hard.
Definitely.
Okay, and then the direction thing.
Because she said, she told people that her first word was like in another language.
Yeah.
I think she means
She
English.
said it in English.
Yeah,
She's saying like, oh,
she was
like
yeah, like my first words were in English.
like
even though
she was
it's,
just
like,
a little baby like surrounded by Spanish speakers and she was like,
Baby.
water.
But if you keep taking a right every time you need to go somewhere, eventually you'll understand direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's fake it till you make it, kind of.
Wouldn't you just go in a circle forever though? Wait, the next part is related to this. She says something more about a system of incompleteness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you keep taking a right every time you need to go home, the thing is that you will never get home.
Yeah.
Right?
It's almost like like if you keep taking rights and you like keep driving straight for a while, then taking another right, driving straight for a while. Obviously, yeah, like you could create like almost like a spiral situation. Yeah, a spiral.
Yeah.
Right. But it will keep going out.
Or in.
Depending on how long you're driving straight for.
Yes.
But you could map the whole U.S. if you started in the center and then just kept taking
Going
right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be an interesting project.
I'm just thinking because at first I was like, if you only go right, then you're avoiding everything on the left. But that's not actually true.
No, you can keep going out.
You can keep going out.
Or in.
Or in.
And then you would understand direction and how it's a system of incompleteness.
No, completely.
Totally. Okay. My filter of expectation has been removed. Okay. More. We don't need to fully figure out everything.
No.
That's the beauty.
We're just letting
of
every
art.
line like wash over us. After you read this poem once, you're like, so now I have to read every single line like
Yes.
slowly. Okay. I take my head out with my teeth to scream into my country.
I take my, like, it's like we're all going on a little trip together, but I need my teeth to scream out to my country, but like, I guess I have to take my head along.
Oh my God. Yes. That's what she means. It's
Yes.
like, I take my head out along with my teeth.
Along with my teeth.
Because they're in there.
Yeah, they're in there, but I love because then you get the image of the teeth kind of on their own.
Yeah.
And
Just
as
like a
the rest of
floating
your
mouth.
head as kind of like, oh God,
Just-
I guess
I have to bring
will
that
throw
too.
that in the bag
Yeah.
too.
That's fabulous. And also, like, my country. Mm-hmm. It's the perfect Sunday.
Nice.
California has burnt itself down, and the peace-loving Bushwick suburbia is building golf courses over my brothers.
Oh my God.
Is Bushwick a place in California?
I don't know.
Let's look that up.
Let's look it
'Cause
up. I know,
obviously-
because it's a place in New York.
Yeah.
But it is not suburbia. But it's something really specific.
No.
Okay, so I guess she means New
New
York,
York.
Bushwick. Like the peace-loving Bushwick. Like Bushwick is kind of a place where, maybe Bushwick, California? Bushwick, Brooklyn? Who knows?
There's not a lot about Bushwick, California, but it could exist.
I get like peace-loving Bushwick is kind of a place where like a lot of young artists live and there's a lot of like clubbing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, like I guess it could feel kind of like a modern kind of like hippie-ish kind of,
Yeah.
you know? And there is maybe a link to that and suburbia in the
Yeah.
way that like a lot of those
it's like
people...
gentrified. Like Bushwick's
Exactly.
become so gentrified.
Like a lot of those people came from suburbia,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which like all love, me too.
And then she said, is building golf courses over my brothers. Which is like why I'm like, they don't have golf courses over there.
No, but like
representative.
The idea of like a Bushwick, a suburbia, like this the peace loving.
Yeah.
This thing of like almost like good liberal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but then we're building a golf course, and this idea too of like, I don't know, like there's pieces of California, obviously that like, I mean, everything all used to be one, but like that used to be Mexico.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure golf courses are built over like forgotten graves all the time. Yeah, there's just this kind, like the tension I think there is really between this idea of like the peace loving and then the raising of like graves or like ancestral land, or like there's a hypocrisy there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a dozen a hand. History with its own cancer.
A dozen a hand.
There's just so many.
So many what?
Bodies. Golf courses. Suburban lands that like have mowed over.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
We are rollerblading across the thighs of America, and I want to win. Push my luck at the border. Polish shoes with a toothache.
Push my luck at the border is also so great a part of that, because you imagine the border then almost as like a finish line.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to push my luck at the border, which also like when you cross the finish line, now you're on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe she's crossing the border in rollerblades.
That would be so sexy. That would be the US, the southern US border is crazy, and they should get rid of it, and we should be able to cross with rollerblades.
I agree.
Yeah. Seriously.
Wow. Okay. Polished shoes with a toothache. I thought it was interesting.
It's just unexpected.
Perfect. It's just unexpected.
Just like plop that right in there.
A licensed ontology.
Period. Ontology, is that teeth? Or no, that's
Orthology.
Ontology.
A philosophical study of existence and the nature of reality. What actually exists?
Seriously.
Great. Okay.
A license.
We were like, is that teeth?
She goes like toothache, orthodontist, podiatrist. These are other words that came into my head.
I was like oncologist.
Oncologist.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you would hear like a licensed oncologist, a licensed ontology. I feel like is not like the study of like what is real is maybe not something you can like get a license in. Maybe you can.
I'm sure you can get a doctorate,
like a doctorate of something. Yeah. But yeah, that's just, we don't have the answer, but we don't need one. I like it.
Spinning over the Gulf, where the money goes, where the ocean drinks light out of my refrigerator. I love that line.
Yeah.
Makes me want to open my gullet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
4,000 birds falling by official decree.
I wonder if that's in reference to something specific. Look, Google 4,000 birds falling.
Okay.
Maybe California or Mexico or Gulf.
In 2011, an incident in Utah saw over 4,000 that must be a bird.
Yeah, grebes.
Eared grebes crash land in a parking lot, often misinterpreting wet pavement for water.
Ooh.
Similar mass bird deaths are commonly caused by disorientation from oil platform lights in the Gulf, weather-related exhaustion, or, as in 2022, Mexico case, escaping predators leading to fatal ground collisions.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sometimes you have to Google it.
Sometimes you have to Google it.
That's amazing. Okay. Oh my God, what an ending then.
Yeah.
Because I love this. Okay, you said in Mexico it was from like fleeing predators. That incident?
Yeah.
Okay, so like that feels like it really ties into like this conversation around like crossing a border.
Yeah.
And like why people like try to like flee into the States for like protection and refuge, and then how that gets all messed up.
Yeah.
But also the idea of like birds mistaking oil slicks for water,
I know.
like
And pavement.
and pavement.
Like we paved Paradise, put up a parking lot.
Right. Which, is there something that gets, the golf courses.
Yeah.
Like that's in conversation with each other. And and then her first word being water, like in English, like, oh, it all just like ties together so beautifully and so kind of like loosely, but perfectly. And she is not trying to explain anything to, like, it's just kind of like laid all out there in this like gorgeous way. That's so rich.
Oh, this is such a good fucking poem.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I love also like the by official decree like, right at the end too, because like I think it again kind of, or like it calls into question this thing of like whose official decree, like which country, and also like who gets to like decree things and like what is considered a fit. Like it's just yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh.
Okay. Let's read
so
it
like,
again.
let's just do it again.
Yeah, I think
we got through it. I just think it's just the yummiest poem.
Yeah, now we're just going to enjoy it extra this second time.
We're going to enjoy extra. Okay. Baby by Regina Avendaño. Yesterday, I wanted to tabletop dance for you with my perfect hair, no cavities. I've begun asking my neighbors to name 5 things that make me better than the other people we both know. This is because I can't explain drowning, and when I deliver 5 kids from Juarez to your feet, they're all dead. While this is mostly a metaphor, 5 mothers are always standing by my bed, asking me to give my place up. I'm considering this as I breastfeed my reflection, hand out free shots to boys with dirty blonde mullets, while the entire continent celebrates my poise, my perfect hair, this je ne sais quoi, and altogether they wonder how my English has gotten so good. I tell them my first word was water or baby, but either way, I said it just like that, in another language. If you keep taking a right every time you're about to get home, eventually you understand direction, a system of incompleteness. I take my head out with my teeth to scream into my country. It's the perfect Sunday. California has burnt itself down, and the peace-loving Bushwick suburbia is building golf courses over my brothers. It's a dozen a hand. History with its own cancer. We are rollerblading across the thighs of America, and I want to win. Push my luck at the border. Polish shoes with a toothache. A licensed ontology. Spinning over the Gulf, where the money goes. Where the ocean drinks light out of my refrigerator. 4,000 birds falling by official decree.
Oh my gosh, so good. I noticed one more thing, which is she says at some point, like, it's like everyone in my on the continent is like so obsessed with me.
Yeah.
It's just like this thing of like the U.S. and Mexico like share,
and Canada
and
everywhere else. Yeah,
and all those other countries, the smaller ones,
bunch of countries,
North America.
Yeah, and I think there's also like this fetishization that comes like specifically in America with like Latino women and like like it's like they're both the like. There's this like tension of being like my people are so oppressed and like I'm oppressed and like there's all these like forces at play to like keep me down, but also like you're all drooling at my fucking feet, you know? Yeah. And there's this like juxtaposition there.
That's the story of everything.
Yeah.
There's always a big juxtaposition about oppression versus sexualization and fetishization and gender dynamics mixed in with race.
And yeah, that's basically the story of everything.
That's basically the story of everything. Okay. Let's do joke time. Okay.
Okay.
So my joke, I have a lot of jokes. Also, I looked at my ideas folder and I was like, I do not know what these mean. Like, a lot of them, I'm like, I think I need to, like, say them to you. Like, so often we come up with jokes. Like, when we're, like, just, you know, like, having dinner with a friend or something. And then I write them down and I'm like, what
the hell?
Okay, but I know about this one.
Okay. Basically, then it just comes to, like, I guess I have to do the one I know what it means.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is just... The weed industry is absolutely killing the candy game and the candy industry.
Yeah.
The weed industry is making candy as it's been never before made. Like, just the actual candy is better than regular candy. I'm not even talking about the drug experience.
Well, I think specifically Zoe and I much adore these little edibles called Joy Bombs that are Skittles.
They're little Skittles, but they're even better than Skittles.
Yeah.
And they have all sorts of flavors, including, I love the cinnamon one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a little Red Hot.
They're like a little Red Hot.
And that's nice because you actually don't usually want that much of that flavor. Like,
no,
you just want to pop one Red
one.
Hot in your mouth.
Yeah. But also, I think that Red Hots, my big problem with them is that they're like a little bit too gummy. Like, I don't like how they feel like they get kind of like stuck in the teeth. I do not like that feeling.
She does not like it.
I don't like it.
Don't give her one.
Maybe in part because my mom, either my mom or dad, one of my parents has a story of eating once a milk dud and having
I hate those.
No, it's like, ew. My dad loves them. They're his preferred candy, which makes me feel very far away from him. Sometimes someone likes something like that, you're like, I do not get you.
No, what the hell? You like that feeling in your gums where the
well, and it pulled out a filling.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so I get kind of nervous around even something like a Red Hot. It feels a little bit too gummy to me. But the weed Skittles that are Red Hot flavored it's like eating a Red Hot that's been put into a Skittle.
Yeah.
So it's not gummy at all. It's just kind of like Skittle consistency. But also there is weed in it. But I want to be able to actually buy one that doesn't have weed.
Yeah, just the candies themselves.
Like, I think that the candy industry needs to take some notes from what the weed industry is doing.
But I'll say there's been a huge improvement. I would say we've been testing edibles.
We've lived through every moment of the improvement.
Yes. Because it used to be like you eat it and you're like, tastes like weed. Tastes bad.
Ass.
It tastes bad.
Yeah.
And now they've really done something with the technology.
I can't even taste the weed in these Skittles.
But then there's like this big problem that comes up that's like, it's at conflict with itself because...
You should be able to taste it, I think.
I think so too, because the point is not that it tastes good. The point is to get high.
Yeah.
And it's also like, it's because you can only have one. Like, I want edibles that are just like...
It should not be delicious.
I want edibles that are just like 0.5 milligrams so you can have like a handful of them. Because just to take one Skittle, you're like, so now it's over? The whole experience of it is over now?
I always chew it for a really long time. I'm like, I'm gonna like get every moment I can out of this thing, which I think is good. I think it helps like disseminate the drug into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Also, these Skittles are 2.5 milligrams, so it's like quite a small dose, which honestly is like perfect for me.
They also hit like harder than if you just had like a fourth of a 10 milligram like normal.
No,
gummy.
I always am kind of like, I don't think these actually have only 2.5.
I know they face more like 3.5,
3.8.
Yeah,
4.
I think they're more 3.8, 2.
It's probably not consistent because sometimes I take one and I'm like, I didn't really feel anything. Sometimes I take one and I'm like, whoa.
But it's also having everything to do with what's in your body already and et cetera, stuff like that.
The other night I took 2 of them and I was like blissed out.
I lost
so
mine.
good. Well, not that many though, but you have more, right?
No, that was my
all
last of
gone.
my stash.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm about to go back to Colorado.
Oh, fun. Wait, it's private.
No, well, it's private about bringing drugs on the plane, I think.
Oh.
Just in case.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No. Okay.
Actually, we are in like a legitimately scary time to fly in any respect. So,
yeah, it's too scary flying.
yeah, I'm scared. Actually, I'm scared. My friend the other day said to me, I was like, oh yeah, I'm like going, I have these gigs in Europe at the end of May. And he was like, there might not be any jet fuel left by then.
No, I think sometimes people get a little carried away with like,
I know. I was
hysteria.
kind of like, I was like, I actually can't like engage in that.
How
line
many
of thinking
times
at
have we
all.
heard stuff like that since
I know,
we've
but
been
we are in like
adults?
a really unprecedented. Like they have like closed down.
No, it is crazy, but I do feel like there's always like you can always tell when it's just like one step past the like truth of like the problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like
"There's
eating
not
my
gonna be
words.
any-"
We're going to like completely run out of fuel. I don't think so.
It's like, remember when the pandemic happened?
But you know what? When the pandemic happened, I will say, I was like, this is going to last for a long time, probably a year or more.
I knew it too.
I know. We both
I
knew it.
took all my plants
were
home
literally
from my
like,
office.
we know what's
I was like,
going
you
on.
guys are being such clowns. You think we're going to be back here in 2 weeks? Like the world will never be the same again.
But there was that, and I knew that. But then there was talk about like they're going to shut down all of the rental car places. They're going to shut down all of the airports. And I was like, I don't think they're going to.
You're like, probably not.
I feel like I'm
greedy little grubby guys.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good at being like, I kind of like can see where the line is of like, of like what is like probably not going to fall apart completely and totally.
Okay, great. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to change my whole life philosophy based around that. Because it made me kind of, but also I was like, what am I going to do? Like worry about this? Like,
no, and
completely out of my control.
No, also it's like they won't have a poet at their wedding.
Right.
Or they won't have, I mean, way bigger problem for them.
No, right. It's like, so then that would happen to all of us.
Right.
So like nobody would be able to get there.
No one would. It wouldn't be a big deal.
No.
I mean, it would be a huge deal for them, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal for you.
Well,
I mean, it would
I
be a
would lose
huge
a
deal
lot
for
of
the world
money.
as well.
Yeah. Everyone would lose a ton of money.
But again, it's like you wouldn't die.
Probably.
Basically, never mind.
Okay. I think we should do poem time.
Wait, let's say one more two things about getting high.
Okay.
We
I
like
feel like
really quickly we're like
carrying this on my back. So, do you have anything to add?
I added a lot of stuff.
I'm just joking. You know, when people say something really mean, they say like the meanest, most personal thing. Hey, I'm just joking. God, you always get so worked up. Nice.
Someone left that. Basically, like it's fun to get high on planes, and I did that for the first time the other day.
Yes, it's the perfect place.
Yeah, I'd never done it before because I was always scared that I would be like a little bit too like weird on the plane.
Yeah.
And then get a little bit like nervous about how weird I was being.
Yeah.
But I was so tired and I just had one edible on me and I was like, let's get
Perfect.
that into the system.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah, I really enjoy that experience. And I also, except for the time that I took someone else's edible before I got on the plane that I was unfamiliar with the edible. And that's the plane that I took from San Francisco to New York. That was a red eye that I thought 100% was going to crash. And
oh my God, that was a really bad experience.
And the flight attendants had fear in their eyes and there was a beeping going on and the pilot kept making announcements to the point that I texted my mom and Hannah and said goodbye. and the whole, but that I didn't do
I
it
was
until,
asleep too. It
Yeah.
was the middle of the night.
Yeah, and luckily the
I
plane,
never even had to feel that
No,
anxiety.
exactly. The plane
by the
had
time
landed,
I woke
and
up,
I texted,
yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like,
goodbye.
Sorry. But I didn't do it until, because I kept being like, am I just like too high? And I'm like, I don't, because I kept looking around and being like, but it was a red eye, so a lot of people were asleep. And so I was kind of like, and then I didn't text until after the woman next to me turned to me and was like, "Can I show you pictures of my kids?" And I was like, "We're going to die. We are going to die." She told me all about her children. They're twins. They were 17. One of them is on the spectrum. She was like, "I'm worried that he's not going to be okay without me." I was like, totally. I'm scared.
She said goodbye.
I said, "If you're showing me pictures of your kids, I better text my mom and say goodbye."
Bye. Oh my God.
So sometimes it's not good to be high if you're on the plane in that kind of situation.
I know. That would be, yeah.
That was a real outlier.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Like, usually I just, like, chill.
Oh, that sounds really hard, though. I would not like that.
No, I was the whole time.
That's, like, enough for me to actually never smoke weed or ingest weed again on a plane.
Okay, well,
because I'm so scared that will happen.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience. It was like basically the worst 8 hours of my life.
Yeah, you were like sure you were gonna die.
No, I was scared as fuck. I was like, I guess I did what I was gonna do.
I guess this is how I was always gonna go.
I'm gonna like come to acceptance with that soon, hopefully.
Okay. So basically,
now
we'll do poem time.
Okay.
So. Now's the part of the podcast where we write poems on the spot based on what we talked about.
Yeah. So what did we talk about?
We did that whole up part.
The up part.
And
then we did the down part.
And so basically, yeah.
We talked about art.
The disruption of art and like your information taking. You guys remember all that? We talked about, why do I feel high right now? Like I've like gone into a weird mode. We talked about
it's
turning
like even
30.
just talking about the Skittles, they're so potent.
I know. I feel weird. Like I'm high on a plane.
Ooh. That's how it feels when it kicks in.
Ooh. And it's like, wah! Like you drop on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Anyways.
One time I was so high that I was in the back seat of an Uber and it felt like I was on a roller coaster.
Is that when you took that like?
Yes.
She accidentally took
I accidentally took too big. I thought it was smaller. It was too big.
It was way too big.
I left the earth.
Way too big.
Just so you know, they make edibles in really, really big portions, which I didn't know because when edibles came out when we were kids.
When we were kids.
10 was a
edibles
standard.
came out when we were like, and we're 18.
Yes, no.
And it was so like, beautiful. It's legal. And we were like, wow.
So beautiful. And they tasted so bad. And they only made them 10 milligrams at a time. You could buy a pack of 10 milligrams. Now they make like a little gummy that's the same size. It's like 100 milligrams. Be careful.
Be careful.
Yeah. We talked about babies.
The whole poem.
The whole poem, of course. Rollerblades.
Down America's
everything
thigh.
In the poem. You guys remember. So good. Bushwick suburbia peace loving golf courses. Birds landing on oil slicks.
Yeah.
You get it.
We talked about weed. We talked about edibles. We talked about being on an airplane, being high on an airplane, thinking you're going to crash. Lots of this whole thing has been kind of like underpinned by the like instability of our entire foundation as a nation right now.
Yeah.
And kind of how much havoc is being wreaked.
So, yeah. Totally.
Okay. So we'll write poems on the spot. We invite you to do the same. If you do write poems, please send them to pokingaroundpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Just really quickly tell them what happened.
We just got a message from a listener, or who knows, someone DM'd the Poking Around Instagram, just said, "I feel like y'all should get married!"
Exclamation point with the two little like girls who are like, ding, with their legs
out. The little twin dancy bunny girls.
Ding.
I'm like, maybe.
Matrimony.
Matrimony. I do think that maybe like friend marriage should be more common.
I know. I think it's like starting to
we
get
would have
like
a really happy marriage.
Yeah, we definitely would.
I feel like y'all should get married.
Ding.
It's like, or we could just have a podcast together, which is kind of the same
thing. Same sort of commitment.
Yeah. Lifelong till death. Okay.
We'll read our poems. We have like 10 sweet little minutes.
Yes. Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like mine, but not that much.
Totally.
And I think there's more to be done.
Of course.
Of course. Okay. What's hung in any museum, passed already through 100 hands. Filters like eye glints. They wave their fingers and deliver from on high what art is, what's good and what's bad. Like everyone else, I glance. I read the plaques. I look at my phone again. Outside, the birds can't tell the difference between the sky and all the glass windows, and so always are hitting them, battering their wings and then falling with so many hollow, broken bones. Any artist might paint one. Any artist might gather the body and cast the feathers in gold. And maybe it would never get inside all those walls, beneath soft lights and hushed tones and the judgment of the public, but still it would be there, existing like a funeral procession, both fleeting.
I love this thing about the birds tying together the birds with not knowing often the difference between like the sky and the sky and the windows and, you know, like the pavement and the sea.
Yeah.
And then like the way that like art disrupts our reality of like, oh, I don't know. I've just been hit in the face by a pavement.
It's like art is also disrupting the reality of birds.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
But I think about that so much with especially like these more kind of like modern designs of the, you know, like buildings, art museums, whatever, when like something's like all glass, you know, and it's like, oh, there's this like other consequence in the rest of the world that has kind of nothing to do with the art, but it does because like any artist can see, like that's what artists see, and that's what artists know and can feel, like when there's the there and you're like, ooh, like that's the art, like the dead bird that hit the art museum.
Yeah.
Because of the way the art museum was designed to like display the art, but then it fucks up with the birds. Like that's kind of like what the art is, but also like that's like so much like brilliant, beautiful art like never makes it into a museum because the people like it's so subjective what art even is, and like all of the people who like sit on museum boards are, you know, kind of like reinforcing a certain kind of art and narrative about art. But that also doesn't mean that like the art that never makes it shouldn't still be made.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all very like a narrow, it's a very funneled.
Yes.
How we see it, it's already gone through like such a system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is intentionally elite. Like
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be for like the outside people.
Yeah.
Or the birds.
The art world in question, but not art in general.
Not art in general. But we've kind of like messed with art in this way. That,
well,
like,
capitalism.
Capitalism basically. Okay,
Okay, read it again. Yeah.
And birds don't even know about that.
No, thank God, they're so lucky.
They don't know about the jet fuel. Like,
No.
They can just go. What's hung in any museum, passed already through 100 hands. Filters like eye glints. They wave their fingers and deliver from on high what art is, what's good and what's bad. Like everyone else, I glance. I read the plaques. I look at my phone again. Outside, the birds can't tell the difference between the sky and all these glass windows, and so always are hitting them, battering their wings and then falling with so many hollow and broken bones. Any artist might paint one. Any artist might gather the body and cast the feathers in gold. And maybe it would never get inside all those walls beneath soft lights and hushed tones and the judgment of the public, but still it would be there, existing like a funeral procession, both fleeting, then forever.
First
Art-
fleeting and then forever.
First fleet, like the death
I
of the
love that.
bird is fleeting, but like if it's cast in, like if it's captured by an artist, there's
it's
like
forever.
a foreverness to it. Yeah,
That's what's so cool about art.
love. Okay.
I love it.
Your turn.
Okay. The edible hits and the plane takes off. My mom's best friend, Leslie, told me once to let the pressure of the speed down the runway push me into the seat, and that's one way to fall asleep. She's an alcoholic and she loves me. The air is stale. It reeks of havoc. My nails look perfect, and I imagine what it would feel like to sit on the wing. Cold, I think. Do you know you can't sit on the clouds? It took me too long to learn that. One of the biggest devastations of my life. I want a Bloody Mary. I want a text from my dad. I want a snack. God, I want a snack. We won't be flying over the sea. Just long stretches of pavement and fields mowed into squares. I count them and think of someone I once loved, then hated, and now barely remember who lives in Nebraska. Old friends, fever dream Colorado, birds falling, birds falling. I dive knowing it's pavement.
Oh, I love this.
I was very inspired
Yes.
by our girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love all the little things you put in here. I love she's an alcoholic and she loves me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I love, and that's one way to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like in general.
Yeah. Just like
That's one way to
if
fall
you're trying
asleep.
to fall asleep and you happen to be on a plane, maybe you could wait until you take off. The pressure could kind of help, you know.
I want a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I want a snack.
I want a
want a
snack. Text from my dad. Like that's the experience of being high.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, you're just kind of
Yeah.
like.
I enjoyed writing this poem. I was just like not in the weeds at all of like what it means. I was just like, let me get into my plain headspace. First thought.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like, I realized I think so many of the same thoughts when I'm on a plane. I'm always like, I wonder what it would be like out on the wing. And then I'm always like, I bet
it would
really
be
cold.
Really fun.
Yeah.
It would be like the worst experience possible of your life, your whole life.
But then I'm like, but what if I was like attached to the wing?
Bad
Like, would I
still.
make it
No.
through? Like, I
It
always
would
wonder,
basically
like,
skin you alive.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'll just read it again.
yeah,
like, we're almost
so
out of time,
awesome,
basically.
I know.
Okay.
God, time flies when you're having fun.
The edible hits and the plane takes off. My mom's best friend, Leslie, told me once to let the pressure of the speed down the runway to push me into the seat. And that's one way to fall asleep. She's an alcoholic and she loves me. The air is stale. It reeks of havoc. My nails look perfect and I imagine what it would feel like to sit on the wing. Cold, I think. Did you know you can't sit on the clouds? It took me too long to learn that. One of the biggest devastations of my life. I want a Bloody Mary. I want a text from my dad. I want a snack. God, I want a snack. We won't be flying over the sea. Just long stretches of pavement and fields mowed into squares. I count them and think of someone I once loved, then hated, and now barely remember who lives in Nebraska. Old friends, fever dream Colorado, birds falling, birds falling. I dive knowing it's pavement.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay. Okay. That was another episode of Poking Around. We're so excited and happy to be back doing this thing. Thank you for your patience with us.
Yeah.
I'm so proud though that it's like we took a hiatus, we came back. It's like no, we like have a producer.
I know,
Like,
I know. What happened needed to happen.
Yeah.
You're about to see us full steam ahead. We're really, really excited. This felt so good to record this episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.